And welcome back. Well, our next guest started a diet last year at a very unusual time. She began on Thanksgiving, a day when most of us indulge and probably overindulge, but her story has a very happy ending because this holiday season, she's been able to keep off the pounds that she lost.
For a whole year. It's amazing. Jen McCommons is a physician's assistant. She's also a weight loss counselor at NutriMost Milwaukee, and she has put what she preaches into practice. That's what I love about you. So when you talk to people about this program, you know from personal experience.
I've lived it, I've done it, I've tried everything, and I was hitting my head against the wall like everybody else going, why can't I lose the weight?
Yeah.
And this did it for me, and as you guys see, it's a year later and I've kept the weight off.
Check you out. Do you feel good about that?
Oh my gosh, I look at those pictures and go, who was that?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't even seem, it's just such a different person now. I mean, my energy level, my stamina, my pleasure in going shopping, you know, all of those things have just made a big comeback to what I remember being when I hadn't gained the weight.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like this time of year, because there's more pictures being taken, oftentimes it's when you recognize how much weight you've put on, because sometimes you don't see it yourself looking in the mirror until you see yourself in a picture.
Yeah. That's what happened to me. I was actually with some friends in Hawaii last October, and November 1st is my before picture. And I literally, we were getting on a plane to go from one island to the other, and we took a picture of the four of us, and I looked at it, and I literally had to bite my tongue to keep from crying. And I wasn't lazy. I had hiked 26 miles the day before with my friends to a waterfall on the mountain of Hawaii, you know. And so it wasn't that I was lazy, but I looked at this picture, and my face was so bloated and so round and so just not healthy looking, and I said I can't keep going. And so I used to work at NutriMost when it was Knee Specialist of Wisconsin only, and so I ran into Dr. Rick, our owner, and I saw how much weight he had lost, and he told me about the program. I said, I've got to do it, and I've got to do it now. I said, I refuse to buy the next pant size up. And had I gained 1 pound, I mean, literally, if I sneezed, let's just be honest, my pants would have ripped. It was that tight.
Have you ever used like a ponytail holder to give yourself a little extra space?
Yes.
I was worried about the back end ripping out. That's what I was worried about. And so I knew that if I didn't, I would have eaten like I was going to the electric chair. Because, you know, when you know you're going to do a diet in a month, I would have just said, oh, well, I've got to have this goodie and that goodie because I'm not going to get it. And I also have had to change my behaviors and my thoughts. So many of us are trained from being little kids that we get rewarded with food and dessert. If you're bad, you go to bed without dessert. If you got a good grade, you get dessert. If you got a boo-boo, you get dessert. And so I had to shift those thoughts and take food away from being a reward or a punishment to a necessity in nutrition. And that's been the biggest change. I've been able to deal with stress without eating, and that was a big problem, you know? And this taught me about how food reacts with my body.
Well, I think a lot of people think of this time of year as, you know, kind of as you mentioned, like, I don't want to do anything this time of year. I'm going to be overindulging. I'm making food. I'm feeding people. I'm going to be tasting, eating. You know, but I actually had a friend of mine who, for years, every year of his life between Thanksgiving and Christmas, did a diet because he said, you know, he'd have fun on Thanksgiving, and then between that time, he'd lose like 10 pounds because he's a guy, like in a month, you know, and then in Christmas, he was ready for New Year's, felt good for New Year's. So I think this is the perfect time of year between the holidays to take advantage and take control of your weight.
Absolutely. And, you know, I looked at it like this. I lost 25 pounds with my first round.
You did?
And yes, and then I actually lost more after that. But I knew that I would gain 10 to 15 pounds. So I did not want that to lose as well. And let's face it, how many of us feel horrible after we go and overindulge and we eat those dinners and you know, you're literally falling asleep on the couch, undoing your pants. Yeah, and you just feel sluggish and brain fog and you can't focus and no energy. And those things go away when you do this program because you learn how foods react with your body. I know, I had a trigger food this week. I did a vendor event for another business on Sunday. I had hot dogs or nachos to choose from. I had nachos. Well, I know that corn chips for me, if I eat 3 chips, I'm going to gain 3 pounds. I'm going to be puffy, tired, brain fog, and I had a corn chip hangover on Monday. I felt horrible. And, you know, I should have planned. I knew better, but at least I knew why I felt that way. I knew why I was up 3 pounds, and I just go back to eating my list of foods and I'm good.
And I know part of this is a metabolic reset because your metabolic age when you started a year ago was 73, that of a 73-year-old, and now it's a 50-year-old,
right?
Which is still a little older than than your real age, but still to
much
lose
closer.
22 years is amazing.
Right.
What about the fact that you've been able to keep this off for a year? Because a lot of people can lose it but can't keep it off. What's the key for you? Because I know you travel a lot too.
Right. The key is learning your trigger foods, and that's part of the second half of the program, where we actually have you test out different foods and see how your body reacts, not only on the scale, but how does your body feel when you eat those foods. And so when you identify those factors, for an example, I can eat a baked potato with butter. I don't gain weight. I'm fine. I feel good. But give me 1 cup of rice, I will gain 2 pounds, and I'm going to be sluggish and brain fog. And so, you know, we all know what brain fog is, where you just don't feel like you can function, you know, that carb coma, you know. And so I'm able to identify those foods that are safe for me and the foods that aren't, like the nachos.
Yep.
And so, but I can eat French fries and I don't gain weight. So it's learning what foods work okay with your body and what foods don't.
Yeah, that's interesting too, because a lot of people go towards rice because they think it's gluten-free or,
Right.
you know, whatnot.
Well-
So you guys do free consultations at NutriMost, and I think the most important thing, like you mentioned, is figuring out how your body reacts and how to make your body work for you, your metabolism work for
Absolutely.
you. Here's how you can have a free consultation: 844-FAT-MELT or NutriMostMilwaukee.com. Don't wait through the holidays. Do it now. You're going to feel great by New Year's. Thanks, Jen.
Thank you.
Great to see you. Thank you so
Good to
much.
see you.